Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in and the interest rates are clearly steering the housing market. And at an average of under 5.75%, according to Fred, it has already shattered prices. It has already shattered sales. Inventory is already surging. So all tiers of the housing market crash are now firing on all cylinders. And what we are waiting for now, y'all, is negative equity growth, but not like we're seeing right now. Right now, we have experienced negative equity growth, but it is barely at 1%. So as the data continuously comes out, we're going to start seeing more and more data that clearly represents negative equity growth and clearly shows that we are in a housing market crash, obviously created by the Federal Reserve and their lack of initiative from 2021. Now, obviously, today what we're going to do is we're going to unpack an article from Zillow, but I'm also going to show you guys how I personally predict the trajectory of residential mortgage rates. So I'm going to pull up the 10-year Treasury and essentially show you how I'm guessing what I'm guessing so that you guys don't have to wait on lagging data, which essentially is good if you're currently in the market, if you're currently buying and have a loan in the process. It's really good to know what directions the interest rates are going to go from week to week so that you know whether or not to lock your rate. And that also is very beneficial if you're a realtor or a lender or really any professional in this industry. Know what direction the interest rates are going so that you can properly advise your clients and as a consumer, make the decision to lock. So we're going to go over all that today, you guys. The article from Zillow is titled, Mortgage Rates Decline Despite High Inflation Indicators. Now, here's the thing. This article is really short, you guys, and the reason why I'm pulling up treasuries, and I'll also pull up Fred economic data, because Zillow is still making mistakes. So we're going to go over the article, but I'm also going to show you that Zillow continuously is making mistakes. I really feel it's important to bring this to light because Zillow is a household name. This is what Zillow is telling hundreds of millions of Americans or tens of millions of Americans that trust Zillow. So we're going to see what they're saying about interest rates and about the economy and about the Federal Reserve right now. But remember, you guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a YouTuber. This is my personal channel. My bio, though, is as a father, husband, renter, victim of 2008 and my bad decisions. But my profession is realtor, successful beast loan officer, successful beast instructor of all things real estate, and I own property. So all the haters that want to say, oh, you made a mistake, why can we trust you? It's because of my mistakes that has got me to where I'm at. And where I'm at right now, y'all, I'm a beast in real estate. But just because I'm a beast doesn't mean I need to tell people to buy right now if I don't truly believe it in my heart, which I don't believe right now, which is why I've gotten out of origination. I refuse to sell something that I do not believe in, and especially because a foreclosure happened to myself. Regardless, you guys, let's unpack this article and let's see what direction the interest rates are moving in and what the Federal Reserve is doing right now. And here's the entire article from Zillow. This is literally all they wrote. So let me read this to you, y'all. And they do make some good points because the reality is obviously the Federal Reserve is putting us into a recession, right? They need to do that. It's actually healthy for us because we're in an unhealthy environment. But here's how the article starts. And their very first statement, y'all, is wrong. And I'm going to show you that their very first statement is wrong. But nevertheless, let's continue. Mortgage rates declined last week. No, they didn't. Even with a very high inflation indicator. In economic data released last week, both consumers and producer prices showed higher than anticipated increases. But investors continue to price in a potential recession in 2023. For real? We're in recession right now. I'll get back to that, which may force the Federal Reserve to begin lowering the federal funds target sometime next year. This has resulted in an inverted yield curve where short-term Treasury rates 2-year are higher than median-term rates 10-year. The fact is actually the 6 month is actually inverted now, y'all. The 6 month is inverted, as is the 1 year and 9 month, which is very, very important to understand, that it's actually an indicator of a recession. But let's continue, which tend to influence mortgage rates. Investors believe the Fed will continue to raise rates in the short term, but will have to begin easing once inflation slows and the economy likely slips into a recession. Markets will be focused on housing data this week for new construction and existing home sales to understand potential impacts of home prices on supply, demand, and inflation reading. So first of all, you guys, the fact that Zillow is saying a potential recession in 2023, to me, that's crazy. To me, that means that they continue to play the, oh, we just don't get it game, right? Until they're eventually right, and then they're going to go bullish again on their projections. But the thing is, you guys, we're in a recession right now. 2 days ago, the White House changed the definition of recession, and I believe they did that because of midterm elections. I don't know that for sure, but I believe it's because of midterm elections. But what I want to show you right now, you guys, before we really dig into the recession, I want to show you the trajectory of the interest rates, and I want to show you guys how to read what's coming, right? Because if we don't get ahead of this, we will always be behind. So I want to show you what is a really good indicator on how we know which direction the interest rates are going to go. And here's the thing. I also want to talk about the Federal Reserve, because the fact of the matter is we need to go in recession. More than likely, we're in a recession right now. So the fact that the White House is changing the definition of recession means they are creating some type of narrative. Now, I believe that narrative they're going to create has to do something with the November midterm elections. I don't know that for sure, but I think it's a complete disgrace that the people in charge continue to change the definition of things, just like vaccine. And if you don't believe me, look it up, to fit their narrative. It's completely crazy. So that's why I'm always saying, you guys, again, stay ahead of this or you will always be behind. But first of all, let's unpack the interest rates, because Zillow said that interest rates went down last week. And this article was done on the 20th. Take a look at the interest rates from Fred Economic Data right now. Okay, you guys, so take a look at this. This is Fred Economic Data 30-year fixed rate mortgage average in the United States. They're, in my mind, the least biased of all the data providers. And, I don't get how Zillow keeps getting this wrong. I'm a YouTuber with zero production crew. I have almost no experience on video, and I'm not even making that much mistakes. I'm also dyslexic, and I'm still not making as many mistakes as Zillow. But look at this. Okay, so the article came out on the 20th, and here's from the 14th to the 21st. So the rates were at 5.51, and they went up, as you can see, to 5.54. So even though it was only a modest increase, so look at that is a modest increase. I'm not saying it's not, I'm not saying it's a big increase, but it's a modest increase. But the thing is, even if it's a modest increase, don't say they went down, right? Say they modestly went up. Dave Ramsey does the same crap. If it's really not going down, then don't say it's just so crazy. These people keep getting this wrong. Despite what Zillow said last week, interest rates did not average down. They actually averaged up slightly. Yes, I get it. But again, Zillow's a household name. Zillow speaks into tens of millions of people's lives. It's especially important that they get it right. And in my opinion, they owe it to the people to be conservative, lean on the side of caution, explain what the Federal Reserve is doing, explain why the Federal Reserve is kicking us into a recession, explain why a recession is important to our housing market, and explain how a recession is going to affect our housing market. In my opinion, if Zillow does that, mad love to Zillow, because ain't no one else doing it, and it's a super duper shame. But regardless, you guys, what I want to do now is I'm going to pull up the treasuries, because this is something that you guys can watch at home. Watch the 10-year treasury, and my target for the 10-year treasury is 3%. The higher over 3% the treasury goes, normally the higher over like 5.7% the rates will go. Anything under 3% on the 10-year treasury, normally interest rates are going to be under 5.7%. So look at where the 10-year treasury is at right now. Okay, so right now the 10-year treasury is at 2.8%. So it's at 2.8%, and residential mortgage rates on average are at 5.54. 4. But what I have noticed, y'all, is the 10-year continues to trend downward. Now, because this 10-year is trending downward as compared to last week, that's why I think this week the interest rates are actually going to be lower on average than 5.54%. So we'll be able to see that on Thursday when Fed economic data updates their graph. Remember, Thursday it will update, and I'm saying that the average rate is going to go down because this right here, that 10-year, is trending downward as compared to last week. So this is my indicator. Here's what I'm following to get an idea of the trend on the interest rates. Now, I can also pull up pricing because I'm obviously a licensed residential mortgage loan officer. So I can pull up live pricing and get an idea of exactly where the interest rates are trending. But I can't do that tomorrow. I can't predict where the rates are going to be tomorrow unless I'm looking at indicators today, right? So that's why I think that the average interest rates this week is actually going to be under 5.54%. But you guys hold me accountable on that. But regardless, you guys, it's no question the Federal Reserve is putting us into a recession because that's their job. And it is going to crash our housing market. Now, here's the thing. If you look back at all of the recessions, most recessions that we fall into do not, I repeat, do not impact the value of houses. However, if you go back to all of the recessions that we've been in, every time we've had a housing market bubble, home prices have absolutely crashed after a recession. So it's really important to understand that because a lot of people make an argument, well, most recessions have never changed the values of houses. But the thing is although that may be true, most recessions that we were in, we did not also have a housing market bubble. And when I say bubble, what I'm referring to is excessive equity growth that breaks many market and economic fundamentals, especially wage growth. So again, you guys, understand what's happening so that you can prepare, but don't only just prepare, warn other people, right? Warn other people so that they do something about it, so they're not caught off guard, so that they can start preparing right now on the 3 things: credit, income, assets. Those are the 3 things that we need to continue to improve as we're on the sidelines. Being on the sidelines is okay, especially if you're preparing in the meantime. Other than that, you guys, I want to be your source of all things real estate. I want you guys to lean on me. Now, I know my opinion is biased, but it's biased because I've went through this. It's biased because I'm a 20-year veteran in the field, right? So it's biased because I very much so feel strongly that I can see very clearly what's coming. So it's going to be biased, right? It should be biased based on my experience. But other than that, you guys, it is genuine. I'm coming from my heart. I'm doing it in a way that I'm hoping to help you, not scare you, but empower you. And I hope you're feeling that message from my videos. Other than that, you guys, I really appreciate you following along with me on this video. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you know this. I wish you luck and I hope you win.